Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad AIMAN bin Abu Samad. So today my group and I will present to all of you about the topic the Hadith Digitization in Industrial Revolution 4.0 era, a study at ULUM Hadith Research Center USIM. First introduction, social media is considered as an efficient means of dakwah by conducting live broadcasting, so they can be accessed and watched by millions of people. In the millennial era, the development of technology allowed changing the order of social, cultural and political life, influencing the existence of technology, causing the millennial generation to be more dependent on social media as a source of knowledge. The studies related to digitization and technology have been conducted by researchers on the digitization of hadith in this millennial era. In the content of library, digitization has main purpose to enhance and maintain preservation of library collection, meaning that digitization has changed document and artwork into digital form in order to provide online service. The studies describing the use of digitization in the content of film, education and dakwah. This article mainly focus on the need of digitization of hadith in Malaysian content, particularly in Center for Hadith Studies at Faculty Quranic and Sunnah Studies, Islamic Science University of Malaysia USIM, called ULUM Hadith Research Center. ULUM Hadith Research Center is a research center developed by a group of researchers who conduct academic studies on hadith and related of knowledge. The Center for Hadith Studies play a main role as a media to study and disseminate the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it was established in order to maintain the purity of Islamic teaching, especially the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am NURUL SAHIRA BINTI Cik, and so now I will continue to the objectives of the research studies. Okay, the first one is to discover the evolution of hadith development during all times until now. The second objective is to identify that hadith digitization is a necessity for a center of hadith studies. And the last objective is to acknowledge the extent of effectiveness in the digitization of hadith in this millennial era. Okay, next we move to the methodology. For this methodology of research studies, it's conducted with mixed methods, which is combining qualitative and quantitative methods in gathering the information. Which is for the qualitative, we use reading material. The data have been collected through a platform which is within a library database and then website for journal and article, for example, Google Scholar, Core.uk, Wiley Library and Script. And then this is also qualitative. We conduct an interview with lecturers that involved with ULUM Hadith Research Center by using WhatsApp as a medium for interview. There are Dr. Zulhilmi Muhammad Noor, Dr. Amiruddin Sobali, and Dr. Yusuf Ismail. And the last one, which is quantitative, we do a questionnaire as a method to get the exact data for this research by using Google Form with 50 respondents of FPKS students.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now I'm going to continue my group presentation, which is results and findings of this research. As you know, we distribute a Google form among the USIM students, and we got 50 respondents, which is 30 of them is female and 20 of them is male. For the interview session, we managed to have an interview with the expert of the ULUM Hadith Research Center, which is Dr. Yusuf Ismail, Dr. Amiruddin Sobani and Dr. Zulhilmi Muhammad. And as for the result, for the evaluation of hadith development, we found out that ULUM Hadith Research Center is an open source manner which user can freely access, download or even distribute it freely, and it is easy to find the materials in ULUM Hadith Research Center. And it was published biannually by USIM Press, maintained by ULUM Hadith Research Center in partnership of Faculty of Quran and Sunnah Studies. And it is actually helped many students in find the material related to the hadith studies. Therefore, the needs of hadith digitization in the Center for Hadith Study, we found out that almost 50 of the respondents acknowledged the existence of ULUM Hadith Center on the contribution of hadith studies to society. And 26% of them may be knowledgeable about the center, and 10 of them is unknowledgeable, doesn't know about the existence of ULUM Hadith Center. However, 86% of them was agreed that ULUM Hadith Center are helping them in receiving the information related to the hadith in an easy approach. Next is common platform for seeking hadith in digital form, which is why we need the digitization of the hadith. So therefore, 80% of the respondents are using website, 60% of them are using PDF, 58% of them is using application in the mobile phone, 46 of them are using software, and lastly 30% of them are using e-book. This study shows that this student and this society are really depends and rely on the digitization in the internet. Therefore, ULUM Hadith Research Center were really big help for them.
My name is Asmaa binti Rusli. I will continue the result for the needs of hadith digitization in center. There are some issues in preserving the hadith authentication. As you can see here, this is the result from the questionnaires. The chart shows that the popular issue with 96% of responses is the issue on the expansion of fabricated hadith. An unpopular issue regarding this point is the use of Israeliyat in hadith translation with 38%. In addition, during the interview session with experts discussed on how to avoid the issue in UHRC Center, all experts agree that in the evaluation process of reliability of information or sources, it must be verified by the panels as well. Dr. Zuhilmi mentioned that to ensure the validation of sources, it can be referred to original books, digital tools, and journals in various languages in the same area. Next, the result of effectiveness of hadith digitization in Industrial Revolution 4.0 era. As you can see, 72% agree that e-hadith sources are accessible and easy to use in obtaining information. Likewise, 4% from the respondents in the neutral stage. Moreover, in interview session, the panel stated that the challenges faced in managing UHRC Center come from the factor of time, administration, management, and financial budget. Dr. Yusuf and Dr. Zuhaim stated that all the panels in UHRC Center were the lecturers, so they do not have enough time to focus on the management of UHRC. The solution of the challenges, UHRC was hired a specialized staff to review the information before published on the web. And now, UHRC Center was formed a team and staff administrator to manage the administration process of the center.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is FITRI NABIHAH binti KHODHORI. Now I will go with my part, which is the conclusion of our research paper. In conclusion, the rapid advancement of technology allows users to obtain references to hadith literature in both PDF and digital formats. For students and academicians, the digitalization of hadith can serve as a media and learning resource. Users should be cautious when quoting a source of learning by examining the source authenticity. But with the existence of this hadith digitization technology, people must be careful and able to process information accordingly. Furthermore, hadith digitization has pros and cons. The availability of hadith literature in PDF and digital formats benefit the public, particularly academicians and students, who may now seek references to hadith books by downloading them. That's all from me. Thank you.